Attack.
Collapse. He's grouping up mid with Miposhka. Defend their tier 1. The natural point contest here.
They're ready to defend this tower. They do have Arena and Egg combo.
They see the Storm Spirit. They saw Aura. Toronto Tokyo blinks in, initiates, turns back into Collapse with a spear. Perfect play in the hand of God and the Fisher. It's enough. Or he's out of the net. After being turned on by Yatoro, the Centaur stop will keep at bay for a few seconds longer while XXS. He's slowed by the trap and another combo from Tiny. What a deja vu for the Timbersaw there. Trapped up against the side of the tower.
You think you're gonna survive there, but Collapse spinning you on the tower and damage. This is 3 points in meld, which is -7 armor at
Ori,
and they found another one.
What? No way!
Beautifully done.
That was he?
Yeah, he definitely was.
Holy shit! Collapse God! Yeah, tip. I think Ori
Even
knows.
Ori tips him, yeah.
Ori knows.
That was good.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Hey, I want to see that again.
Did he see him? Did he know?
He knows. No, he definitely knows. Like, you can still like vacuum storm spirit the ball lightning and you can spear him.
Right at the end, yeah, you deserve that grin on your face.
It's like, oh
yeah.
I actually went for it and it worked.
Can't believe it himself. I think it's some kind of magic. They were talking about the Cinderella story from DR. They're getting that same fairy tale.
They really want to play against PSG.LGD Grand Finals. You can feel it. They want a rematch again. Because what happened at Riyadh, they kind of got stomped. It was very one-sided, and they want to play it again. This is going to be a really good timing on Yatoro's Desolator. 15 minutes plus the Dragonlance power charge, which does allow them to go inside Roche Pit. They like play different side of the map because Collapse does have a Blink Dagger, and with Relocate being available, Toronto, they easily join on a spear connection.
Monet getting a bit of free time up top, but here's the smoke from Spirit. Yatoro stays bot, showing on the wave.
Radiant are scanning.
Even scanning in that top jungle. It looks like it's going to connect. Does shift red. So Aston know that something is coming. They've got this high ground observable that they can play under. Stepping the triangle and waiting for Spirit to come up. Yeah, with a sentry down, they see that ward being placed. Illusion runes from Ori there, holding the staircases. Team Spirit still looking for an angle, an entry point, and Storm Spirit, the smoke break. On pivot Toronto Tokyo yet again. Arena Spear with the toss up in the air.
Oh no, the toss
comes in. They don't kill off the Storm when he turns to fight. Vortex back on the IO now, as it looks like they will just build
bit of an anti-combo there with the Z-axis stuff, as we call it. Does not allow Mars to pin him on the edge of the arena.
Yeah, it looks like they're lacking the damage. You're right.
But also, Hand of God used and Max.
Ori, no fear. Vortex straight in onto Mira. No heal will save him from that.
Dire's middle tower
Finally coming back in again from this one. Chen Army, Timbersaw tanking, and Monet even joining in as well. Yatoro, Kasoni, come and fight, come and play, Collapse, spear onto Ori, sinking it onto the tree. So Collapse dragged back in, swinging onto
the egg.
And they want to focus the egg down further. Monet Troll will clear it up, 2 down on Spirit, while Yatoro stuck in the Echo Slam. Aster will lose Monet, but they get so much more.
Oh man, that did not connect, that spear. I guess Toronto was also expecting that spear's gonna connect and use his combo right away. He's expecting it to hit on 3 and then he follows up with the combo, which does allow the rest of the Aster to connect and also Troll. I mean, he does die, but Battle Fury is completed and also managing.
Yeah, vitally important for him as he is starting to climb the net worth board. See how it was from Collapse with that Blink Spear. Goes right past the tree. Incredibly near to catching that Ori Storm, and then the beeline towards the air. Timber and Troll.
Invisibility.
The battle trap and the east. Well, Yatoro, he wanted to come and play in the Chakram and the Echo Slam. You're not able to do too much of that.
Now they got Miscat did manage to farm his shot. That's going to be another way of setting things up, an extra lockdown as well.
And what's the reasoning for that over the Blink Dagger rush this game? Because we've seen
He wants to have it as fast as possible.
differences in opinion in terms of how the game's going. What kind of item you build on that Earthshaker? 71% a win probability for
Even
Team
after
Spirit.
that fight, okay.
Yes.
Who do we hate on team? Why is it so big?
Tiny saves the Phoenix, but a great Fisher with that shard chasing in, but they heal from Mira. They keep Miposhka alive.
It looked really good until Mira popped that back to full HP. I think those numbers come from Troll, because a lot of the time this hero just does not carry the games.
Yeah, maybe it's TI stats only, but a jump in again. Oreo, Jacob trying to bring down Collapse. They've got the arena, tossed back in. Ori not speared, pulls away from the danger Spirit are bringing. And finally some D-walking from that high ground to remove Spirit's vision.
Also, Aster having that Harpy creep, which is scouting things out. Boca keeping all the good stuff. By the good stuff, but this is not, 4 Centaur stunts anymore. It's about having the little creep that gives you magic resistance, amplify the healing, and the Alpha Wolf if you can find it, until you farm your shard.
Those auras, get the creeps going. But yeah, maybe the Dota Plus percentage is based on TI stats. Team Spirit TI heroes, they won TI. Give the bonus 20%.
It has Troll. I'm not even kidding.
I'm not a fan of him. Echo Saber for Tiny. Adding even more burst damage to his arsenal.
Dire are scanning.
As Actor entered the pit. This seems a little risky. Team Spirit have an amazing amount of team fight capabilities.
Another scan from Aster. They know exactly where Spirit is.
Oh, look what he's got bottled. Tiny with a DD rune. His trinket, Echo Saber. Toronto Tokyo could blow people up very quickly. And we saw in Entity, right? Stormer had some spectacular games on this Tiny when he grabbed the DD runes. And Spirit utilized it with a look themselves. Aster want to continue playing under their vision. But even further into this top jungle, getting another ward down, while Spirit
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
long.
They climb the high ground.
Yeah,
He's holding it.
he's the one that's so he's under radiant vision. I saw the TA and they know that the pit is wide open.
Oh, they might find Ori here.
Storm Spirit, Avalanche, not dodged quite enough, but Toronto Tokyo, they still didn't want to commit for that. Just waiting a minute to do that. Whoa, what I miss? Good back.
Sun after heal with the whole. Let's see. I think the team fight from Spirit. Approach what happens.
Get in with Mo. So, another time for Toronto Tokyo as Monet and Jan half health remain. The fire on the ground. Roshanna the dump enter off the Tokyo blocked by the Fisher and collapse. Roshanna he gets it, steals it away, relocated out. Toronto Tokyo still battling into this Monet troll. Supernova egg already landed and Monet is down while Team Spirit charging forward. The horn is sounded as the cavalry arrive, but Earthshaker, he keeps them at bay with his Aghanim shard.
Can they get anything out of more of this? Collapse ready to blink in.
Misses the God's Rebuke though.
Collapse Giga Chad one more time, carrying Team Spirit, dealing the. Dude, that's.
Not allowing Troll to have that.
You're welcome.
Kick in the teeth for us. Collapse goes in again. Joker with a. Back there, dropped him.
Healing up.
Ori, but Tiny into the chakra miss. After shock delight from Earthshaker. The playback works out.
Available in
Era.
Oh, barely.
Half away.
That's from Siam. I'm lightweight collapse.
Is under
Yeah, for-
attack.
Comes in down. Egg as well.
Yeah, top from Tokyo, not allowing him to pick it up, but the collapse goes in right time, right place, and snatches it.
And now back to holding hands with his partner, Mira. IO Mars ready to move anywhere on the map. Out top, they can re-kill the rest of the team if they do want to force a fight. What's for Aster? I believe he's 1,000 way on Earthshake. Control, items to come up.
He's very close to BKB. If they manage to get this fight going before there's a BKB on Troll, that's going to be big. Also, Ori, recipe away.
How many times can Toronto Tokyo find this storm? Yet again, we're in! The burst from Yatro as well. XXS has to use the Mars. And a nice Fisher catching and holding. Team Spirit back, but look at the Tiny. He's fishing, angling for someone. He knows exactly where catching here.
The spear.
Here as well, collapse blows him with Yatro. Toronto Tokyo. They kill the same Mira with a spray on top. Oh, he's not even gonna die.
They have much to say.
Is under attack.
Almost back to full AP. Buyback from 3, so
Yes.
they use buyback on Siamese Cat in the previous fight. Some beautiful spell casting from Team Spirit. Also, I love that Templar Assassins are picking up that earlier shard, not waiting for a second Roche to pop. Extra layer of silence. It can make a difference, even against the Timber Star.
And the Troll.
Yeah, even against it. Also, Toronto Tokyo once again finds a good opening.
Fine. Mira on the other side of the fight. Aster just scrambling to retreat, needing to fall back, and this is a dive back.
Not again.
He's got no mana. Oh, no. Team Spirit has your number. They will find Toronto Tokyo as Monet clears through the Tiny. But Team 70 is now with no storm on the map.
He's dead for a very long time. This tier 2 tower is gonna drop. This time around, they don't have any repositioning. One for the high ground is gonna be much easier for Team Spirit. One tier 2 tower played instead.
These objectives. Eat Aster back in the base. A four-man smoke. Aster, they want to fight without their storm. This seems dangerous. 45 seconds left of this Mipushka, a Phoenix. He's being eyed up. Got the day away. Timber couldn't use him, couldn't catch him.
They need sure to connect there. Difficult task to execute. And now, 2 big items on sides. Templar Assassin with EKB, but also Heaven's Halberd Sammy's. Bit of trouble here. Will get clipped by that trap.
Mira getting jumped by the Timber Saw. Scan being blasted by BKBTA. God's view from collapse secures Bulbaca trapped in the trees. The forest is no safe place for Chen any longer. As Collapse gathers another double.
Radiant's top
He was
tower
still
is
not
under
done there.
attack.
The original Giga Chat collapsed. Every other is a fake during PEI. That was,
Radiant's
you know,
top
his
tower
name
has
for a
fallen.
reason.
Accept no imitations. Collapse is the real one.
Radiant's top
Waiting,
tower is under
hiding in the
attack.
fog.
Yeah, pretending when he's just stuck, Gary.
I'm a tree. I'm a tree. Clear the ancients, removing farm from Aster.
Damage fall. Tiny will gladly take that one.
Now look at what the TA's building. Another layer of control and silence against this storm.
It's really good against all of these items. It also does give Yatoro solo pickup potential on the supports from Aster. He can easily one-shot him, especially Earthshaker. He's struggling to find the farm.
We know the BKB 2,000 gold away from Storm as well, so this is going to give a nice window for the TA to find those pickoffs onto him. And that smoke from Aster didn't work out last time. Let's see if they can get in they need.
Ori holding Rustic, the passive one. Sassive foul, as we call it. he needs to dig deep, and also Greedy needs to find those Bounty runes. This is going to help out the whole team.
I know. Shaker really dagger now. He's 800 gold away. These buybacks have hurt him tremendously. There's no room to farm. The map is closing in around them. Bottom lane shoved. Bottom jungle held by Team Spirit. Mid lane cleared by Collapse. There's only one pocket of farm that they can actually utilize as Aster, and it's scouted by Dire Vision.
Siamese Cat fake pumping that Fisher in case they get the initiation on. This is going to be another freebie. Tier 2 tower, forcing a glyph. Okay. I'm not sure if anything is going to get out of that. Maybe they just want to buy time, get those BKBs up.
Yeah, slow them down. Maybe another smoke from Aster. But it looks like their primary plan here now is just to farm up on Storm to get this BKB a little quicker. XXS also trying to get his Black King bar up and running as well, while Tiny has just had his delivered. So we have multiple BKBs on Team Spirit, which just amplifies their ability to team fight, and the trap silence into the
Not again.
Oh, nearly dead, but he's got the mana pool to get out of there. Collapse was close with a TP to outpost, but the fear in Ori's eyes now.
Ori knows, like this Kaya and Sanj keeping him alive. A bit of a extra status resistance, a bit of a tankiness, but needs to find another 1,000 gold. There's going to be decent farm on the bottom and another way of approaching. He definitely needs BKB for the next fight.
Aster have held minutes now without bleeding out too much. 10k lead built up by Team Spirit, though definitely something that's worrying for this Radiant side. And there's that win probability, 90% for Team Spirit.
Those are some big numbers.
They are large, hefty. Spider legs. Hand them over to the Timber Saw. Last leg's also pretty nice.
Wants to be as tanky as possible. Has that miss chance. What is Troll holding? Mindbreaker. That's one of the better items.
They see Yatoro wide open here in the mid lane, but they are still hesitating. Circles drawn there by Mirren, reading the map, knowing that this triangle will likely have 5 Aster members all huddled together. They're in a circle. They're not singing Kumbaya though, they're getting ready for war. Battle is imminent, and Team Spirit are the ones who want to have the initial.
They're sitting
strike.
underneath the ward. The post just placed him.
Dire sees them, jump Timber Saw, blow him up. The Yules will save him by a bit of time. Still silenced up and burnt alive, but they've caught the Chen in the back. Collapsing Mirror, focusing Bobaka. The Hand of God comes while Ori, he's in onto the Ion. Bobaka's still up and running. XXS, he's brought back for this. Needs to continue fighting the spear. Doesn't burn Bobaka alive.
On the high ground.
Egg. They found the troll. Monet with a battle trance. There is no retreating from this. You'll lose your carry.
Forcing another buyback. XXS forced to use it. Collapse spent all of his time to find Chen. Use the arena. He might find another one. There's no blink of Siamese Cat. He knows it's there.
Ori's in again. They're trying to focus down his Tiny. That's good damage to XXS and Ori and Collapse. Entrance ring is up. He's over the Fisher and he's far away. He's turning around.
Yataro's gonna clean up.
Yatoro with a takedown on 2.
And no mana on the Earthshaker.
He's dead to rice.
For a second, I thought these were the GGs dropped in the old chat. It's a full team wipe. 6 members of Acer went down. Roshan will respawn in 20 seconds. They do have a trap inside of it, so we'll know exactly when it spawns.
Despair for Aster, but Team Spirit so close to glory. 10 seconds for Roche to respawn as well, and looking at these death timers, Timberboard back, so he's gone for 60 fully, Earthshaker and Storm 20 and 30 respectively, and Roche about to come back up. Tier 2 claimed by Yatoro up at top. And there's that initiation under the vision. He gets dewarded after the jump from Tiny.
And nicely done there from Yatoro. This Orchid coming in clutch after Yule Scepter. He knows that there is not going to be a dispel mechanic, and Collapse holding Baboka for a very long time in the end, and a great egg from Miposhka on the high ground, plus the Sun Ray. This troll is going to get kited.
Just the perfect egg placement, really, isn't it, with that Sun Ray over the top?
You know things are going well, because Miposhka does have 7 charges on Spirit Vessel.
little bit excessive. And there's that final kill right towards the end. Collapse.
How am I so good? Guys, look at me.
You know,
Unbelievable.
it's not wrong. That's going through Collapse's head. Well, how did Yatoro get those kills and not me? What's going on here?
Full Bloodthorn now on Templar Assassin. Whoever they decide to go on, that target just straight up dies.
Invis rune ready for Toronto Tokyo too. Radiant Obs gonna spot them advancing. Aster again relying on this triangle high ground to try and build a fight that's favorable for them. But at this point, Team Spirit with Aegis on Tiny, he's going to have so much free reign just to jump in, find a catch, kill the Earthshaker. Not a care in the world for Toronto Tokyo. I'll see the storm zip away. Blink on cooldown for 4 seconds. But now they're being hemmed in. The sheep being herded back into the pen of the Radiant base.
Glyph already forced. Without Earthshaker, no buyback available on him. And these buildings are going to drop so quickly.
Ori starts up, has the BKB. Does get the Vortex onto the TA. Collapse turning, trying to heal them up with his Sun Ray. And they've got the relocate out of there. They took a little bit of time here to turn around onto the Troll. But with his Arena Spear and the combo, tight kills Monet. The bomb back on him. Ori wants back in, but Aegis Tiny with BKB still ready to be used. And yeah, Barracks falling so very quickly.
Still hold onto BKB on Toronto.
He'll wait, doesn't have to. Hold on to it for now. No Arena, no Supernova, but Yatoro feeling it. Oh, I take that back. They've got Refresher on the Mars. They will have another round.
And he's bringing the full refresher, so potentially they're going to expect there's not going to be any arena right now, and he might be able to get the great initiation.
Look at how quick they are. They see the ball lightning, and they are tethered Sunray immediately onto Yatoro's TA. Another set of building is going to be dropped here now. Toronto, Tokyo opening up this Radiant base.
Radiant's bottom
It's been a hard nut to crack, this Aster team, but Spirit seems to be the squad to do it.
Last set of barracks still standing for Aster, but options are very limited right now. They don't have, like, they need some big Echo Salami coming in, because I don't see the comeback otherwise. They need to catch 4 or 5 heroes. Also Ori trying to go for the Aghanim Scepter, still 2,000 gold away. This could be a good setup for Echo.
It could be. But such a monumental task in front of them. 23,000 net worth lead, and again, Team Spirit, one of these teams that are always spending that money to build up items to keep a net worth valid and in the game, and not, you know, wasted, stored in a bank somewhere. Crystallis on Toronto, Tokyo. Daedalus coming up, not too far away.
Another active rune for Toronto. Does have a haste, so getting a toss back gonna be much easier this time around.
Dire are scanning.
All eyes on Ori and Siamese Cat at this point, really. Storm and Earthshaker, the two heavy hitters for Aster. If they can come out of the fog with a good initiation, find Io, kill the Phoenix before that heal and Supernova can land, maybe there's a chance. Team Spirit want to cut any opportunity that Aster has.
Radiant's top tower.
Vision up on high ground. It is scouted by the Sentry of Aster while Spirit are smoked, and Ori
Already coming in with the BKB.
They will focus onto this Yatoro TA, but there's just so much heal while Toronto, Tokyo, he's backstabbing into the chin. That was your BKB Storm, that was your initiation, and it falls flat.
Way too much healing. Yatoro will pop BKB. They want to have mega creeps. They want
Megas.
game put in the bag. Because then right now it's very difficult. Yes, you do have Troll with the Battle Fury, but eventually there's going to be 2 arenas. We still haven't seen this Refresher Orb coming into a play for Mars.
Radiant are scanning.
And using a scan exactly where they are. One last chance.
No collapses here. He's waiting on the front lines. Dodges the chakram again. He's a ballerina. Just spinning around, you can't catch the man. They're still smoked. Storm and Earthshaker, really, they are so important. They blink, they fissure, collapse with a turn, with silence onto Timber. He has to use defensively, but now Spear and Sunray down. Ori aiming for the Supernova. Can they defend it? Collapse has Arena, but he lets the egg die. It's denied by Mira. Now the Suns on the Storm, dead with buyback as Timber saw and Storm dead. Great Spear in.
And another one on the end. They're just styling in the end. Mira denying the egg.
It felt inevitable.
And we will see TI-10 rematch on the stage. Team Spirit will be facing against PSG.LGD.
And well deserved. Collapse.
The dark moon comes. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 30 seconds to battle.
Your god has arrived. Your prayer answered. Sound advice. Onward. Yes.
The battle begins.
To battle. I ordain it. Very good. A position of power. Forward. Your prayer answered. Oh, ye of little faith. Sound advice. To battle. Onward. It's not time yet. God help me now. Very good. Out of bounds. A divine infusion. I ordain it. Yes. A position of power. Forward. You wish you were never small. I ordain it. Enough is as good as a feast. Onward. A position of power. Very good. Your prayer answered. Sound advice. I'm not ready. Yes. I'm not ready. By my whiskers, that's good stuff. To battle. Forward. Forward. Yes.
Not going anywhere.
By my whisker. Beware. A position of power. I ordain it. Your prayer and not yet. Very good. closer now. To battle. Sound advice. Very good. I'm not ready. A divine to battle. Yes. A position of power. Onward. Divine That's good stuff. Sound advice. Forward. Your prayer answered. It's not time! I'm not ready! I'm not ready! Not yet! It's not time yet! I'm not ready! It's not time yet! Not yet! Not yet! The heavens seem closer now. Veil of discord. I ordain it. Not yet. Very good. It's not time yet.
30 seconds to battle.
Each blow sharpens. I have lost face, but I haven't lost heart. I fight. I go.
Tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Roshan has fallen to the dust.
Мажор выиграл в доте. А?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Stupendous!
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is falling. Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Illusion!
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Was coming? Unstoppable.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's ancient is under attack. Dire victory.
Nice turn. Next time again.
I am no thief. Finally. Yes. I see.
Prepare for battle.
Absolutely.
Excellent idea. First blood? What is this? I came here to be tested. Curious. Yes. The sorcerer stings. Is it please? I'm under attack. I understand. Where shall I go next? Altamir University? Your school? Indeed. Interesting. It's not done yet. Interesting. Curious. You're wasting talent. Interesting. Interesting. Very good.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I'm not ready. Yes. It's not. Absolutely. What wonders will I see this day?
Your turn to ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Choose your hero. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining.
Two sides of the same coin.
scalding cold. My flames grow hotter. We're under attack.
Last of my kind were first in this.
Dragon's Rage.
Death is the start of your suffering.
The twins return. Updrafts.
It was worth it.
Dragons take you. With twinned nature. Sky, embrace us. Doubly so.
Your final gasp serves as bellwether.
One less prospect. We're not ice and fire. We're not ready. We're
Under attack!
The drought had run
Why did you remember? I have no reason. You have played your
Damn, that smells good. Picks up. Impressive wing. Ice advances. We are another.
I return to the void.
Death to all betrayers! Juggernaut! The ice returns. The strong invade.
The true danger.
Dragon's breath. The flame returns.
Preparation.
These skies belong to dragons, Batrider. Learn to walk!
A twin attack.
To the void.
We will hunt and gold.
With twin
My blade has tasted better. Dragon's Rage.
Your turn to ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. You may now select your heroes. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I call the shots around here. A new trajectory. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. No! I'm under attack! Of course!
Mine by right, as well as by might.
Well, that was a hell of a recoil. Spotted. Yep.
Straight to the bottom with you.
Face up to your mortality.
Attack!
Back to four.
on! Run and gun! Into the... Back at the shooting net, Mark. No. Of course.
PSG.LGD's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Spirit's turn to ban.
Puck.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. PSG.LGD's turn to ban. Team Spirit's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. PSG.LGD's turn to ban. Team Spirit's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. PSG.LGD's
Dusk.
Pudge.
Choose your hero.
Oh, baby. I mean,
That's high.
their carry is not a real carry. It's
Hey, LGD say it's game one. It's a best of 5. Let's do it in fashion. We see them pick up the Pudge here. How much confidence do you guys feel in LGD now?
so much confidence.
I love it so much, yeah.
Oh my god, this Pudge, I love this Pudge pick. This has been like the bane of so many teams going up against LGD and the other Chinese teams. Their Pudge has just been dominating.
I love it against PL as well. Like the way you itemize naturally counters PL. I just love it. And last night I was just around the corner. There's a bar called, well, a pizza place called Pudge's Pizza. It's a sign.
Yeah, I love it too. You can go this Vanguard into Ags. You are playing with a Chen who's going to be able to heal you and sustain you when you're going into fights. It's just fantastic.
So you're all in favor LGD. They have the execution, they have the skill, they have everything that they need to take game one.
Well, I wouldn't write off Team Spirit just yet. I think their draft is also a core task on our hands.
Okay, but LGD still look like they have really strong lanes. Puck should be fine against a Tusk. Viper's always meant to win his lane. It looks pretty good for LGD through the lanes.
Yeah, the Spirit game plan to me is like, let's chill, sit back, and wait for our late game timings. Like late game Black Holes, late game PL. They're not a team that's going to be able to make too much happen in the early to mid game.
Yeah, I mean, Tusk is going to try. He's sure going to try.
Can we quickly touch on how you guys feel that Tusk Puck matchup is going to go? Quickly, Lizard.
I just have to say, I did not expect the Tusk mid lane. They must know something we don't. I expect a lot.
I mean, we could see it play out in Spirit's favor for that mid lane, but we're going to jump into game one. It's going to be Lyrical, Trent, and Gunnar.
Thank you so much, Nat. And Arlington, the crowd, you beautiful people down there, y'all ready for a grand finals? That is so good to see all of you people there. Now, in the corner of my ear during that last panel, I heard something come out, and Gunnar, you were just like, they're going to pick Pudge. Why do you like this Pudge? What's the Pudge pick about?
It's really good versus the Enigma. A lot of like percentage-based damage. That Flesh Heap's good in PL. I think the AoE damage, the control, it just kind of helps them out. that run the whole budget.
And running in for the other side, though, we have the mid Tusk, something else. You know, you've kind of dabbled in a little bit. I've been talking a bit versus the Coddle, but in this game,
it's a little favorite puck because one of the big things about mid Tusk is the snowball, and you can't snowball when you're coiled, which is a little scary for him. But the matchup is generally good. Tusk kind of dominates these matchups where he's able to trade using Shard on the creep wave. And Puck has, I think, like 0 armor level 1, so he'll be able to trade with the Puck very nicely. They probably made the choice because I think LGD's draft is all Deathball. They're going to stay as a group of 5 heroes.
And the punish the hook. The first one of the game. All right, Ame's already been practicing. Faith Beyond. He's going to draw that first blood as we get out to a roaring start here. Ame, look at that. LGD off to the races, getting that first blood.
Yeah, it feels like this draft really fell off the rails. You know, you go for this early Tiny right away with how the opener sort of worked out, and then that's supposed to make it so the teams aren't willing to go for this puck, but then they see this Phantom Lancer, and of course one of the most complained about matchups that I ever see in pubs is, you know, getting pucked when you're playing PL, and there's
out because they're going to have low damage to kill multiple heroes, but one hero they can probably kill. Chen's healing is more of a whole team. It's not one singular hero like Dazzle.
Oh my god.
The save.
He keeps catching him. Saving his buddy with one, killing with another, and Faith Beyond appreciating. Now Maposhka, you got to be careful. This guy hits pretty hard, but won't chase after Maposhka that much further. Picks up the bounty runes. And that indeed is going to be 2 apiece.
We are seeing a little lane swap. They're going to go aggro Trilane on the side of Spirit. They're probably worried about the Pudge Enigma matchup. He can kill the Eidolons really easily. And even the Chen versus Enigma is a very hard matchup, taking them. So they're going to just try to put the PL versus this lane. But this lane is going to be pretty hard versus the Pudge.
And Mira actually making his way back up top as well, seeing the Viper and the Rubik there for poor collapse and saying, yeah, you guys are just going to be a duo down there instead.
Yeah, it's going to take a little while for him to make the move all the way up, but already Collapse playing on that Enigma. They're going to be a little bit of a tough time playing into both the Pudge and the Rubik. We talked about it in the drafting panel, but the other thing is just like if they can get off to a good start, maybe you can play with like a little bit more high tempo. We'll see if they do it. But the movement over, Mira scouts out the Xingqiu Rubik there, and be careful about any tossback plays.
This is going to hopefully for Spirit be a SR type of game. They scale very well, and GD is all about these Deathball right now. The Chen, this hero, we've seen it every game it's been played right now. It just was mid at the 5-minute siege. It tries to take the tower. It gets this mech 14 minutes group up. So much healing, so much team fight, and Team Spirit, their team fight there in the Enigma, but it's going to come out slower. Their damage numbers are a little lower. The PL is not the biggest carry right now to just go with one item, especially versus all the damage that comes out from LGD.
Yeah, there's just so much AoE damage there because of this. PL is going to need a lot to deal with the Rod, especially with being a safe lane Pudge. You know, we've seen Pudge in all 3 of the core roles, and it looks like a great game to go Vanguard and perhaps just right into the Agnums after that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a Hood on the PL. We've seen them go from time to time just to deal with all this magic damage. And the hero can't really buy a BKB just because it doesn't help your illusions.
Well, need to make sure you're playing around those for sure. You saw a little bit of a battle going on, and we'll have another one here. Maposhka facing off against Y. Does keep on refreshing that Poison Touch. Has the Purge Creep available. Xingqiu, though, on the top lane. Mira able to find him for the punch and the kill, and Maposhka getting chased down that Purge out of mana. So they can't quite catch up to the Dazzle, but this is setting up for basically just a 1v1 in this bottom lane.
Yeah, the one is going to favor LGD side a little, but Yatoro is keeping up pretty well. And in terms of also lane pressure, on mid lane, it's also very scary for Spirit because the Tusk has pressure but no kill threat on the puck mid. He has 2 ways to get out of Shard. He can dodge the snowball if he gets phase shift. And even the supports of Spirit aren't going to be the greatest at just locking down the puck, but on top,
nice body blocks.
Mira moving on in. One more. The long arm Tiny from the Eidolon. Runs at Faith Beyond it, finds on the Viper. So a couple quick kills there for Team Spirit after that first blood.
Yeah, the lane swap should favor the top lane for Team Spirit the most. I think their probably goal is that this PL isn't going to be the greatest game, but the Enigma is going to have a really good game. There's no BKB piercing disables outside of, I guess, Pudge, but hopefully he is the black hole target, so they can't really stop the black hole if he's in it.
The Rubik's going to be the other big thing, but, you know, somebody else will take care of him. Get the PL at him or something. The don't know, Tokyo Tusk matchup like you were talking about against the puck in the mid lane there. That'll be interesting to watch what those early rotations turn into.
It'll be interesting to see the item builds, because some of the item builds have been different. I know Thompson goes for more of like a Treads and a Halberd, Deso, kind of like a right-clicky build, versus like going for Blink Ags, BKB, and playing off the Walrus kick. So he only has phase boots queued up, so I'm not sure what he'll go, but I would assume probably a Blink, because he needs to help his team go in. The Tiny's just a support, so his Blink will be slow. The Enigma is going
he has a purpose as this Tiny.
And already 4 minutes. Very alone in this lane and has been doing a great job. 30-4 right now versus the 12-2 for Yatoro.
I mean, you can just farm it up as Pudge, right? You can push out the wave with your Ra, maybe get some hooks on some of the bigger creeps if you want to. Unexpected.
There's gonna be a phase shift. Thought there was going to be something. Nothing to say, just die. It's just done.
These are really big kills for the Tusk. Tusk is, he snowballs really hard if he has a good lane. He's going to max out his nukes and run around with these phase boots. So they're going to, for him to break up these lanes, especially the Viper.
Toss back for a top. Collapse. He's there, right on top of him with all the Eidolons. Will it be enough damage though? Slowly whittling down Faith Beyond the stomp. It actually hits on the Eidolons, which means that they die on Collapse first. And then the turn as Mira gonna get ran down. Toss, another couple punches, but they don't quite have the range.
Painful there, but nothing to say. I mean, just died now, rotates top, trying to get some help and can't even get there for the second kill. Man, that Centaur did so much work. Stopping those Eidolons that little bit to ensure that they would grab the kill first.
And also, as you can see, Yatoro has the Ring of Health in his inventory, so probably the Hood's going to come out for him soon. Toronto's walk to bot. I think this is probably the harder lane for him to kill. The Pudge is really tanky, and he has the Vanguard finish, so they're probably just going to let him live down there and wait for the Enigma, I would think. They're going to need his Black Hole to kick him out of this lane.
Ame, just always threatening, even before that level 6. It's so scary playing into this Pudge nowadays.
Back on top.
Chance for Collapse. They're getting some good pressure onto him. Mira throws out the Avalanche, and Eidolon's close to splitting. Under the tower, getting Collapse killed here, maybe? Can he dodge out, juke through the trees? No. They get that kill, but the snowball and the chase down, Faith Beyond will die. So 2 for 1.
Okay, that is a level 7 Tusk though. You know, getting in there, a little bit of help. Meanwhile, Yatoro still bullied back in that bottom lane.
A little too far, but so the biggest thing about this Pudge is it's letting this Chen just jungle for free. So this mech is going to come really early for the side of LGD, and it's putting more pressure on them because of what it's enabling on the map.
And it feels like the more the Chen progress in this tournament, the more people are putting more odds on it. It's like those mechs have been slowing down a little bit.
Level 6 there, and bar spawn on the Doppelganger to get a little bit of separation.
It looks like Nothing to Say is actually rushing the Witchblade. He skipped boots entirely, hit almost half the treads finished, and now he's just bought the chainmail. He's probably feeling bad about the death and the rotation that didn't really lead to much, so he's probably feeling like he needs this damage to kind of set up these plays.
Well, meanwhile, Toronto Tokyo going to get those phase boots now, so perhaps an opportunity to roam around and find something here. I mean, why juggling very aggressively, moving in towards that early mid tower, but Miposhka and Toronto Tokyo nearby.
Yeah, pops the phase, going right away. Walrus punch, forced to jaunt out the shards. Catches right on the edge and just throwing all the abilities there onto Nothing to Say.
Yeah, trying to take some of that space away. His Y is just occupying the dire jungle there. Gonna run into Yatoro.
Finds him. Goes in for some damage. They hurl the boulder onto the illusion as they move in and Coil is out. They focus on the wrong PL illusion,
that was nice.
That was a really well played juke by Yatoro, and now with Miposhka and Toronto Tokyo here, they might all be in trouble. Ame trying to find a target, stay onto it. Brought down somewhat low. They find a hook through the melee of all those creeps. So they lose the dazzle, but get away on the PL.
Oh, meanwhile, the roll, though, to secure the haste ring for himself on Toronto Tokyo. Now Xingqiu in trouble, has to throw a toss back, but there's help.
Yeah. Have a toss, Walrus punch. Has a haste rune still bottled. So this is going to be a strong moment for Team Spirit if they want to rotate.
The really nice thing right now for Spirit is this Tusk and this Dazzle have so much HP between the two, between the healing, between the Grave, that this Tusk is kind of able to just run in. The Chen doesn't provide much damage advantage. This Rubik does not provide much damage, so he's kind of getting a free game to just enable himself to play on the enemy side of the map. And always just constantly go on, nothing to say.
Yeah, I like how he just whittles him down all the time to put that threat onto him.
Ooh, and if there was no Chen there, might have thought about it.
Up top. Big toss back on the Faith Beyond.
The Eidolons, they're burning them down bit by bit. Turns around with the Viper strike, but Mira is dropping low. It is going to be enough to kill him off. So a 1-for-1 exchange, but this is the Tiny for the Viper. Kind of what you like to see.
Time he walks up, the Tiny just gets behind him. He has a great angle, but the PL is still very far behind. And this hero, we've seen it needs a lot of items, it needs a lot of time, and right now a lot of heroes are just very fast. So it's a little scary when this hero starts to fall behind.
If they can manage to sort of carry that momentum through for the rest of this game, start taking down some of those objectives, definitely Team Spirit might be on the back foot there. And Phase Boots is done, queuing up the Aghanim Scepter immediately afterwards. We'll see where Ame wants to go to try and make use of that network he's built up. Snowball, on to nothing to say. Doesn't have a way out, has a coil though. Already used the punch, couple more punches, or than one, but it's not enough. They break the coil, and that's going to be a big jump in there with a great turnaround. And now Ame still trying to hunt, but they have the chase, the pendants, the deep stolen away. Can they do this? Needs to find a target, needs to get over to the creeps. He finds it. Oh, back over onto Y instead. Thinking about a turn with the DD punch. No, just is going to give up his life. And instead, they toss Y underneath the tower, have a couple more poison touch punches, tries to bring him down, avalanche, and it's a finish. So they get something out of nothing on Team Spirit, and yet Ame is still chasing, ready to hunt, ready to hook. Finds that kill onto Tiny to boot, and well, an avalanche stolen by Xingqiu. Could have set up from a Poshka, but they won't go for more.
You know, Ame's hitting that one right there, and that is a scary sight too, to give up the avalanche like that when they're looking to get even more aggressive onto your side of the map. Smoke up with that Rubik perhaps right after this and just keep this going.
They're starting to look a little scary because I was questioning how LGD would try to involve this Pudge. Going top is pretty awkward in the Enigma. He can always pull the lane back with denying a creep, and walking to the tri-camp is generally a death threat for yourself. So right now they kind of bring the fight, LGD brings the fight to themselves. They kind of bait under the tower with nothing to say. They get the coil, and Ame just kind of jungling in the area, so he walks up.
Yeah, but you can see though, I mean, you can kind of understand that probability aspect when you look at the net worth chart in terms of like, this Pudge is huge, but there is a pretty solid tri-core here from Team Spirit occupying the top of that chart.
Yeah, I guess the question is going to be how strong is that timing when LGD do decide to fight, and can they wait out longer? I mean, the timing's pushed back a little bit more. The Viper just finished the Hand of Midas, the item of the tournament.
Golden Glove. Next time to begin. It's going to find why.
Bring him on in there, and a couple quick swipes is all it takes. And no, Ame kind of left alone. They do a black hole nearby, as well as Yadaro in the area, thinking about dropping this, threatening the black hole, but Toronto Tokyo, he just dies. Now, can they go for any more? Yadaro very far in there. They think that this is the real PL, but it's not. He's instead chasing Xingqiu. They get a little bit baited there, but now he's so far deep. I don't know if this team can help him. And in fact, they throw out the avalanche. That breaks the TP. Yadaro, he's so far back. Again, they're baiting it with the other illusion, but they find the real PL, and they're gonna chase down and kill him. The bait that did not work, but maybe they get something here, maybe not. Maybe Ame just kills them all. He's still staying alive for a very long time. The Chen Heal Hand of God keeps him back, and that fight working out very well for LGD.
This Pudge is so strong. He's walking at 3 heroes. Also at the start of the fight, the control from nothing to say. He goes on the backline supports. He silences the dazzle so no grave comes out. That's why Toronto Tokyo died so early in the fight. He didn't have the healing, no save, nothing, and he gets so much.
Finds another. Mira, just get away from me. Tosses him out. Well, the hook counter keeps going up, even though he's not getting a kill every time.
That is quite the setback for Spirit, though, because they were taking that time to farm it up a little bit, and Yadaro, he joins in because he knows that they really want to get involved right now because LGD has this game plan, and it looked like a situation where maybe he could try and help out, but despite all his ridiculous jukes and the attempt to look like a complete illusion under the tower there, not able to escape still. So this means he's going to go back to the jungle for a fairly long time again.
My worry is that I think Team Spirit was kind of happy and they're kind of forcing the plays, it feels like, on the side of LGD. And I thought this was what LGD kind of needed to get back into this game. They don't really have the best tower pressure. They had no ways to kind of group their heroes to this top side of the map, and they always wanted this Pudge to be involved. And when you bring the fights to the Pudge, he can still keep farming, he can still keep jungling, and he just ends up being there. No extra movement at all.
Oh, that pressure is up top right now. Nothing to say, just hitting the tower. And Rubik following up here, and I'm sure Ame willing to join as well. Unfortunately, sitting at like no mana in the Radiant jungle right now as he farms towards that Aghanim Scepter.
That's sort of just going to have to sit pretty with what he brought to him there. But like you said, pressure that's being mounted up on the top side. Was that also Eidolon stolen by XinQ, I think? But Toronto Tokyo moves in. There's double sentries down. They don't quite see him yet, but they will on the other side. After the save there, coil onto 2. Danger, danger. They toss him out to break the coil, but it gets him out alive. That's what they needed. And down bottom.
But look at this. He was expecting that the TP had come.
This is not good. Gets the Phantom Rush away. Ame still with the chase, still with the hook. Needs to be careful. Does a little juke. And that gets him out such simple minds. All right, dude. You just got a hood. Hold on. Talk to me a little bit here.
It was a nice play for LGD to go top. They just finished the mech on the Chen, so that's probably their biggest timing right now. Viper's going for this Force Staff after the Midas. The Puck just got a Witchblade. Pudge is just waiting another 2,000 gold for this Ag, so they're kind of trying to take their timings when they get them.
Still yet to see a black hole in this game from Team Spirit, but does have the Blink Dagger done as well as that Urn of Shadows.
There is a chance that maybe he can get a punish if they get a little bit too aggressive on the side of LGD, but it certainly is a lot of heroes you have to worry about, right? Several silences, even with the Blink Dagger being there, that Rubik being available as well, with the 8th lens already completed for XinQ and 3 points in the Arcane Supremacy. But Mira runs up very boldly in the mid lane.
Double avalanche, not something you always see. Trying to find a toss back, but can't get there. Grave, TP out, anything to break in? Yes, there is. Ame on point again, 3-0-3 on the carry Pudge, and the avalanche from the low ground. Tiny's pretty good when you just get
look at that.
Skills and jumps through, brings down Maposhka.
He was going for that Grave, trying to help cover Toronto Tokyo just in case, and sniped right away there from nothing to say.
This is really nice. Ame is always in the right position. He's always showing up to the fights, and LGD always kind of finds the angles, especially in the back line. Nothing to say is doing a great job at silencing the supports, coiling who he needs to coil, and just not letting Spirit get their spells off.
Yeah, and I think also just trying to keep Yadro out of this game as well. Like that play when they went top for the tier 1, and they didn't bring Ame. I feel like a lot of teams, the second the fight occurred, the Pudge would have TP'd and like tried to join up and everything, but he's trying to hold that bottom area and just zone out Yadro like we saw. Even if he did get the final kill, he's able to do that. It kept him farming on the bottom side of the map. They didn't end up really needing him up top, and now he's gonna have that Aghanims finished.
The Fusel is finished for PL, so maybe there's a timing that Spirit will look for. The Vessel's also, I think, about to be finished on Enigma, so this is getting to the point where you kind of want to use your timings, try to go take a fight, but they will be walking to this death ball, and the Ags is finished now on the push.
Yeah, and they're going for the BKB right away from Toronto Tokyo, so he's not going to have that mobility option in here, but perhaps that's just going to be Mira, right? I mean, he got the blink on the earlier end, so gonna be the first one in there and see if Toronto Tokyo can clean things up with the BKB.
So only 3 members of LGD in this side of the map. Collapse will spot that Ame is here. We'll see if the rest of them decide to head on in team to take this fight or not. Poshka, Toronto Tokyo, they're all nearby. Doesn't really look like it. They're just gonna send the Chen creeps in first, and the shards that reveals that everybody was in that spot.
Yeah, he went BKB on this Tusk because right now they need someone to run in for them on the side of Spirit. The Tiny wants to be the one who breaks in. He doesn't want to be that gets spells cast on him. Enigma wants to get Black Hole. Dazzle obviously wants to get spells off. So they kind of just need a body in front. So he goes BKB so that he feels a little more confident to walk into the Puck, the Viper, the Pudge, and just get his spells off.
You mentioned it, the Spirit Vessel done there, and the scan going to not connect. So Team Spirit reset, retake over their jungle after they get bullied back by LGD, but they're smoking again.
There's going to be an imbalance here as well because we have a healing on both sides in the sense that we got the Chen and then we have this Dazzle, but now with that Pudge Aghanims being out there, that does reduce every type of heal that you could basically imagine. So all of those can be knocked off here if they're in the vicinity of that. Cause some problems on those Graves from Aposhka.
Toro's trying to bait the illusion, and nothing to say actually doesn't notice that his smoke doesn't pop.
Oh, he went on it.
TP out.
Nicely played. Yeah, making use of that PL illusion down on the bottom lane, and they make that entire smoke gank fail. So Team Spirit dodge another engagement as it is another Midas.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
That is a hell of a build.
So Spirit wants to go to the late game.
Yep.
They want to get the gold. They want to go 40-50 minutes, and that's all they're going to play. They're going to use their TPs as not to connect to the team to fight. It's more to be TP away from where the enemy is, so you get those extra gold, those extra camps, delay the game by a minute.
I love this. The Dire support's coming in and farming the Radiant Ancients.
Right.
You just need everything in a situation like this.
Get as much as you possibly can. Hey, I'm here for it, you know? Late game Dota, it's all good, but Spirit, they've already got 3 games under their belt for today. We'll see if they got that stamina to keep it up throughout the entire best of 5. So far, a 3,000 gold lead for LGD. After that fight in the Radiant jungle, it's all kind of looked in their control.
It's like an arms race. Every time I click one of these cores, there's a new item coming out, right? The Blink Dagger on the Pudge, that BKB is complete from Toronto, Tokyo. Like, when do you actually get to the point that you want to fight here for LGD?
I think LGD is ready to fight at any point. They just kind of need to take a good fight on their terms versus the side of Spirit that they aren't really willing to fight, so they're just going to keep delaying the game over and over. So for on Spirit side, they're just kind of trying to push the lanes out, kind of play the map, versus LGD trying to close them in. And that's why you see them constantly smoke up. They're trying to find the fast.
No, he couldn't blink in time.
And only stolen toss, but this opens up Roche for him now.
You know, that's where you're going right away.
So into the pit they go, and LGD, at the very least, should be able to claim this. I don't imagine that Spirit want to come and contest, but they're all spreading out to push each of these lanes as far as they can go. Stages, we'll watch and see what LGD can get as they get it.
It's not too big of a deal. You know, if you want the game to go late, one Aegis doesn't matter. It's when the second, the third that really matter. And it's just really hard for Spirit to take a fight right now. Dazzle's having really big trouble playing versus Puck right now. Even the Pudge hook with Coil is a really nice combo. And so LGD's just kind of walk around the map as 3 or 4. Maybe the Puck will be alone in split push and just kind of try to close out the map.
Of course, these heroes not as effective as some of the other ones. When we think about Puck, this is what Puck does so well, trying to push out the lanes and not get caught. For the side of Team Spirit, they need to do these illusion plays that we've been seeing. They need to sort of, go in with an Avatos and then blink out, get the heck out of dodge.
I see the Dark Troll Summoner up top.
Oh yeah.
Eyes on the prize, you know?
They're ready. Under pressure. Can they get this tower down?
At this point, they might try to wait for the Enigma BKB just so he can get one good black hole off. Because it's really scary to play Enigma into these. That's where you mess up your black hole, you give it to the Rubik. Now they have a Chen, they have a Rubik with a black hole, they have a Pud. They will walk high ground at that point. So he's kind of trying to use the black hole as more of a threat rather than an actual spell.
Oh well, Team Spirit, they can get a little bit of a trade at the very least, some pressure on the tier 2. Can't even grab that tier 1 right now. And yeah, the march does continue. Omega can see if he can hit a nice hook here.
Looking for it. TP coming in. They have the Tusk back in a second. Ava looking for something more. Nothing to say. Right on top of him. Collapses nearby. The shards are out. Doesn't manage to wrap anybody in. But look at the damage just that couple of seconds did to the tier 3 tower.
I absolutely love Rubik versus Tiny. Like, now he just gets avalanche and runs away.
This is really nice. Team Spirit trying to bait LGD in. They still have the Tiny for the toss, so all of their fights are still going to be trying to bait LGD in to take these fights, these long fights. PL now has the shard, and once he gets the shard, it's kind of, you play for the really long fights, you want to get multiple rounds of your spells off. The Enigma wants to be able to kind of wait for them to waste their stuns or their heroes get out of position chasing and he gets a black hole. But LGD just backs off, they take their free win, the 60% damage, and just keep playing them out.
And you can see how hesitant they were too, like going up to the high ground, just popping the flesh heap right away, right? Like punching into that tower just in case.
Once this BKB comes out for Pudge, he's going to be pretty hard to kill. The Enigma's percentage good and bad. Its numbers can get so high that the flesh heap doesn't matter, but as of now, it's not really going to do much.
Yeah, it feels like you just can't solo people anymore. You know, you can't get that like full burst down, but you know, if you catch him at full HP, it often does still an incredible chunk of damage. Unfortunately, it is matchable these days too, so a bit rough versus the Pudge.
Them out. He has no threat on him. He still has 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and even if he doesn't have the Aegis, it's really hard for Spirit to kill him without 5 heroes, and even then.
Aghanim Scepter is just a ridiculous amount. So if he can still stick on you, it's not feel good to just let him be.
I do like this pickup from Face Beyond. He went for an Atos, and he's going to go into a Gleipnir, which is actually one of the better items for PL. It doesn't let him doppel. It works on all the illusions. It even works on Invis. So it's just a nice kind of way to deal with this PL so that they don't always have to need to coil to lock it down.
Or even then you can also chain it after the coil as well, since, you know, initiation's there from Nothing to Say. And what are your chances to save that as well, right? Again, you can't go for the snowball play out of the leash, but you can out of the Gleipnir.
Right. You can pull somebody there at least if you are sort of a bit further back. So that could be the answer.
It's another nice thing about the BKB on Tusk. It kind of allows him to not worry about the coil. So you can still walk in, snowball them, and as long as he himself isn't rooted, he'll be fine.
Yeah, then you're all good.
But again, the Aegis will be expiring in 30 seconds, but they're now up 8k gold. I think that was 5k gold they gain, about 1k per minute for the side of LGD during this Aegis. And that's kind of what you want. They don't care about ending this game. They're still in the lead.
Right. Now, it should be noted that a decent chunk of that gold is onto the supports. If you take a look, they're still building up on the PL. He's further behind the Pudge. But if Yadaro can get some more time to himself with the Sanjin Yashin and trying to get in towards that Heart next, then things maybe start looking not as tragic as an 8k gold lead usually feels at this point.
Is the Puck and the Viper, the mid and the offlane, they're always the ones that show which team is really far ahead.
And about, what is that, 1,000, 2,000 gold separating them and the Tusk and the Enigma?
Yep. Now they're just closing out the map as well. They have the gem on Nothing to Say, so just hopping around, catching that vision, and
still feeling 50-50 right now. Interesting. Oh, that's both of them. That's a good 2 to get, and Ame with the BKB right on top. Something tells me this 50-50 might be changing very quickly as they lose the PL and the Tiny.
You know, PL can be a pretty slippery hero, but not so much versus the coil in a situation like that. He just had no options at all.
Just a really nice read. He knew where they were in the trees. He got the vision of them with the orb, and it was just a really nice play. Very fast. They caught them before they were out. That's kind of been the name of the game for Spirit. They force LGD to go to them. They never TP early. They always. It's called on the Pudge, so he was stuck in the base, but it's again they're forcing LGD to dive the base. They get the toss of the Viper, the Pudge blinks in to try to save the Viper, and as they keep diving forward and forward, they have to fight in the Midnight Pulse.
Yeah, a little bit of a misclick when there's too many creeps around. Downside to vector targeted. You can't do it on the portraits and all the melee. Down to 6k gold lead again. How much does that change the complexion of the game with Roche now respawning too?
That was an instant Roche. I think it was 3 seconds.
Tokyo.
Wraith King with a Radiance, you know, this rot Aghanim Scepter is just
about ending this game. They're still in the lead.
Right. Now it should be noted that a decent chunk of that gold is Ame with the BKB.
Look at that. He knew the blink was coming in.
Brought the Walrus Punch to interrupt the Hand of God. It's not enough. Maybe it's going to be enough for the turn here, though. They find Toronto Tokyo. Now they're in pretty far. The Shards catching them. They miss actually trying to pull Ame out of there with that Hurricane. It didn't work. And Collapse down on the low ground. Finds the Rubik. The Walrus Punch to kill the Punch. Oh my goodness. Spirit did it again. Triple kill from Toronto Tokyo. Sets it up perfect.
Great play by Collapse. Sees the Rubik lurking in the back, has the shard as well, so thought maybe there's some sort of a save coming out there, but just no hesitation, hops right in there. No hesitation, hops right in there. They're on the way together, so I think they feel pretty confident here as LGD.
This is really nice because they're probably going to get the shard for the Pudge, which will help them survive these dives in the base.
Yeah, especially those potential toss back plays.
Oh, it can make such a big difference. Well, the early spawn ends up hugely helping LGD in that instance. And Team Spirit going to have to play some more of the dodge game for at least the duration of this Aegis.
So they're going to have Holy Locket, they're going to have the mech, they're going to have the Hand of God, they're going to have this Puck jumping in to disrupt, Pudge with the saves, Rubik with the telekinesis saves as well. And Team Spirit just have to find that perfect symphony to get themselves another fight win, but it's going to be very tough this time.
Octarine Core as well on the Puck. I think that's when the games start getting really tough to play versus Hero.
Yeah, we saw that even just in the series yesterday.
Right.
Raster.
But on the other side, Yatoro is almost with his heart, which will kind of let him actually... The heart is generally the item that lets the Peel illusions not die instantly, so he's really close. It'll let him actually be more of a threat in the fights, and again, Dazzle needs all the body he can get. He wants to be able to get his spells off because the more spells he gets, the shorter cooldowns they are, the more spells you get. And it's kind of a snowball, but he hasn't had the opportunity to grave or heal kind of anyone. It's either he'll just die first or they die too quickly for him.
Yeah, and starting to get a couple of those items that allow Team Spirit to play their draft the way that they want to. And you take a look, it's been very much a couple of heroes that have done all of the damage. You saw there the damage the Yatoro is doing on the PL. Basically nothing, as it's just been hitting creeps constantly, trying to get to this state. And for the side of LGD, they immediately build back up their lead to put some more pressure on the map.
So is how do you go high ground in a situation where there is the black hole, there's the toss back. Sure, you have some saves and everything, but I mean, as we saw up top, if you get this big toss back in the middle of the base, do you think LGD just like fully commit and try and heal plays out from there? Just need to have the confidence in the Aegis, or are they going to try and wait for some sort of a mistake on the map?
I think the scariest hero right now is Enigma. Yeah, anyone can get tossed in and they'll be fine, especially the Pudge. The Pudge wants to get tossed in. Sure. But if they're not able to control the Enigma, stop his black hole, blink, kind of not let him play the fight, that's when it gets tough. So if they get tossed in, they need to make sure that they get the Enigma. Otherwise, they might just have to try to hope for a hook. And if not, they just let him die.
Ooh, tried to catch nothing to say, but Puck, a hard hero to connect onto. Like you mentioned, that heart just now completed. Yeah. And Toronto Tokyo still trying to find a moment when they can catch somebody out there.
A nice read from Toronto Tokyo. He bought a Desolator this game, which is why he did so much damage in that last fight.
Oh, finds Mira again. Nowhere to toss to. Tries to get him away, but it's not going to happen. And Stolen Avalanche interrupts it that much more. And on the other side, they find Maposhka. Gem just picked up.
He doesn't even steal spells this game. He just steals Avalanche.
That's right.
It's just another spell for Rubik. He needs the Aghanim so that he can just try to steal something else.
Dude, it's crazy.
We might not see an Ags, but the nice thing about Ags, if he does get, is the black hole. It kind of always gives you this opportunity to steal it. And even with the buffs now, once he's level 18, it's always a 4-second cooldown.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous.
Which helps him a lot.
Uses Dismember, thought it was the real PL. It is definitely not. Midnight Pulse dropped down as Faith Beyond starts beating away at these racks. They have the illusions that are going to get sent out. Nice to burn through them, slowly whittling down Ame, but
eat another.
Yeah, there's the regen.
Just stay healthy.
He's perfectly fine with that as they move on in and take the full racks. LGD, just cool as a cucumber.
Oh, nice toss back into the blink. Great exit strategy there from LGD.
Faith Beyond finally getting a BKB, so again, when he gets tossed, he's probably their target right now. He's the only one that I think is realistic for them to kill early in the fight. The Puck has a lot of HP, has a lot of heal. He's just a puck. The Pudge still has Aegis, and he also has 3,000 HP with Flesh Sheet. So they're going to try to kill the Viper every fight. And as I was saying earlier, the Desolator is really nice because all the heroes on LGD didn't really have much armor, so it was allowing him to burst. That's why his punch, I think, killed Ame from like 40% health. But now Ame's picked up a Shivas. He's going for an overwhelming blink, and they just keep getting tankier on the side of LGD.
Smoke on smoke now. And they've been waiting a long time for the perfect fight. Is this it? It doesn't look that great to start. Mira in trouble. They hook. They connect for that kill, and the Shadow Blade in Toronto Tokyo can't find the right target. Has to just TP out in the midst of all of this madness. And Pudge is dropping down pretty low there, but a 4-stab keeping Yadro a little ways away, and they want to wait for that Aegis to expire. So 18 seconds. TP's out, looks for more. Do they decide to go in on this? It's too scary. They can't go for it. So in the end, it is just Mira that goes down.
This is a nice disengage. I got really worried. They had a sentry down. They caught Toronto Tokyo with the Shadow Blade that he just picked up, and he would just be TP'd out, and then, you know, PL is able to juke. And this Enigma, you can see how much both teams respect each other. The Enigma is always holding back, and at the same time, LGD, even Ame goes for like the blind hook up the high ground, just assuming where he's hiding. It's just really nice team play.
I got very close on that one, not quite able to grab it, so LGD keep their control of the map. Won't be the game-ending fight just yet.
You know, to me, what's interesting about this is it feels like in all the other games that Spirit play, they sort of wait back, they hold their position, and then they try and find that perfect moment when somebody makes mistakes. And I'm just not seeing LGD make mistakes. That really feels like it's the problem.
It certainly makes it a little bit more difficult, but we even saw it today versus Aster as well. The fights, there were about 3 different times where they just became standoffs. Where like each team recognized what the other one wanted, they were both there, and everyone just like backed away. And that just comes down to like having great positioning and not wanting to go until you have the perfect vision situation here. And that's partially what Team Spirit are doing right now as they make their way through their own jungle, trying to get down these wards.
You can also see 4-step up by both LGD supports. So they have kind of saved now for the toss. They have a counterplay. Even the Viper has one. So, and the puck is mobility. So Pudge is kind of the only one who's unable to get himself out of a toss, but he's just a Pudge, and they want him to get into the fight.
He's the one sending himself in. When that smoke broke last time, he just jumped right in. Didn't even know that he landed right on top of Yadro.
And a refresher next. Everybody loves refreshers.
So tanky.
Yeah, 4,000 HP is pretty good there.
Double BKB. It's just a really nice item, and at the same time, they're going to smoke the ward. And Yatoro's going for the Bloodthorn. He's trying to replace his hood to give him the magic resistance with the Mage Slayer.
Ready to blink in again. Finds them all. Hello, everybody. I'm here. Come say hi to me. The leash, but the black ball turnaround. Is it going to be good enough? They all walk into it. How did he get it all off? They try and bring him down. Is it going to be enough damage? Though Ame down to about half HP, but Toronto Tokyo already dead. Makoshka caught, silence, killed. Mira dead also. And Collapse tries to back away. Yadro, the one that's left standing amongst these cores, they buy back on the rest.
He won't buy.
Dismembers there. The Grave. Makoshka got the TP back in. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. He needs to try and get away. It's too much damage. Pudge stands tall. Ame, you're too scary.
It looks really good, but that's when all his health is so high, the Midnight Pulse does percentage on your current health, so he just starts dying.
And that might just be it as they're running on into the base. No buybacks on any of these heroes for Team Spirit. Collapse. He's the only one left alive. LGD, they're going for the tier 4s. That's it. GG.
A fantastic Pudge pick at the end of the draft.